Awesome. So welcome to our Christmas gifts in a jar class. Super excited to be with you all this evening. Kathy, we're going to start with you, and Kathy is going to introduce us and tell us what she's making tonight.
Okay, so hi, I'm Kathy from Whitianga, and tonight I'm going to be making, first of all, I'm going to be making garlic oil. And it's so easy, it's ridiculous, but it's absolutely divine. So we're going to start cooking, and it's really simple. It asks me for garlic, 8 to 12, well that means definitely 12 cloves of garlic, and then 500 grams of extra virgin olive oil. So chuck that in and we're just about done. So easy. And then I'm going to use the leftover garlic from this dish later to do aioli, which is going to be super delicious as well.
Now, if you read the tips, Kathy, it says to slightly crush your garlic if you want to release more of the flavor. Did you do that?
I did that.
Nice. Always remember, ladies and gents, to read the tips and tricks of the recipes, especially if you're making them for the first time. They do have some nuggets of gold in there.
Very good tips and tricks, yes. Right, so that's that. So next, we're just about done. Put it on.
Too easy.
And then we're going to cook it for 20 minutes on Varoma on reverse, speed 1. Just like that.
Like that. And so how long is it going to cook for and infuse the garlic into the oil, Kath?
20 minutes.
20 minutes. Awesome. So this is a fantastic oil that you could give to friends that you know are FODMAP, are following a FODMAP diet, because I'm one of those, and we are not allowed to have garlic or onions, but we can have garlic infused oil. So to receive a gift like this is wonderful, because it's actually really expensive to purchase garlic infused olive oil. Fantastic, super quick, super easy, and apparently this garlic oil can stay stored in a container in a cool, dark place, so it doesn't need to go in a fridge, in a cool, dark place for up to 3 months. So good to know. Right, we're going to go across to me. I forgot about that I was next, and Bex is going to take over the chat box. Let me move my bits and pieces.
Hey everybody. So tell me, I would like to know, while Michelle's just getting ready, I would like to know if you made anything in your Thermomix last year for Christmas gifts. What did you make? I did a whole lot of things. I'll tell you, I've actually forgotten, so I need to think of them. I did an infused alcoholic drink for my dad last year, I remember. Eggnog. Haven't tried that. Sounds like I need to. I did lots of gingerbread. Lots of gingerbread. Yeah, ginger biscuits, yeah.
Cranberry chutney is really good.
Lemon curd, always good. Cranberry chutney, always good. Can't go wrong. The cranberry and bacon, is that the one that you mean? That one's really super good. Michelle is making, got lots of notes in front of me. Where are we? Michelle is making honey cinnamon roasted almonds. Oh, yum. And this recipe is from the recipe community.
Recipe community. So I did mean to just mention before we cracked on into it that tonight we are going to run a little bit longer than the usual hour. We're probably going to go 20 minutes longer, and that's because I'm going to, for those that are interested, I'm going to do a Cookidoo demonstration on how you can upload a recipe from the recipe community so that you can make it to use on your Thermomix for the TM6 owners. So it's the new function that was released on Tuesday or Wednesday, yesterday and Monday. So, but for now, I'm just going to be, I've got it on my phone, and I'm going to be following and using my home screen for manual cooking. So first thing it's telling me is to, sorry, I'm just not sure why I'm not so organized tonight. Okay, so I've got to add some butter, 30 grams of butter into here, 50 grams of delicious honey. So the recipe community is a lot of wonderful recipes, Thermomix recipes that have been uploaded and shared by raving fans and consultants as part of our go-getter steps to upload 3 recipes onto, can you let Lynn in, Bex? Onto the recipe community. And so, yeah, so there's heaps of wonderful recipes there, and they do not have any copyright restrictions, and that's why you're able to upload them happily onto your machine. Right, butter, honey. Now I'm adding in half a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of cinnamon into the honey and butter, and a little bit of vanilla paste, sorry, which I haven't got. There you go. A little bit of vanilla paste. And that's just going to, I'm going to pop that in, melt this quickly for 2 minutes. On speed Varoma. So Varoma is our, is basically 120, but it's steaming. And that's just on at speed 1 for 2 minutes at 120 degrees.
Oh, okay. I'm just putting that recipe into the chat box. Cool. So we've got to remind, please just everyone make sure that you mute yourselves because we've got a little bit of background noise. And Michelle, did you put Kathy's recipe on here? I've got to go back up. Yes, you did. Cool. Yeah, Kathy's recipe is there. Sorry, found it.
Okay, if you can take over and do your orbit. Thanks,
Sure can. Okie dokie. Spotlight. Yeah, hello. Hey, everybody. Okay, so this is my friend Alf. Alf on the shelf. He's not actually ours. He actually is my husband's a school teacher, and he's still at home. So I've just decided to borrow him for tonight. And the first recipe that I'm making is something a little different. I am making the lemon cleaning concentrate. So this is not to be eaten, okay? You've got to remind the rest of my family not to eat this. Alrighty, so this recipe is from, let's have a look. This recipe is from just a website. It's not Recipe Community, just a website with this on it. And we'll go ahead and get started. And I'll tell you what you can use it for later too. Okay, so I have 500 grams of lemons in here. Everything, zest, white, pips, everything just cut up into quarters. And I'm going to go ahead and put this into the machine. It's about 4, maybe 4. And I'm going to chop for 30 seconds on speed 10. See the 4 little elves? He's like, oh, look at 4. Okay. Wow. Okay, so this is what 500 grams of whole lemons.
Look at that.
Like. Yeah.
Awesome.
Isn't that incredible? That's so cool. Okay, so it's just telling me to scrape down the bowl, get everything down the bottom. Da, 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 da. And now I'm going to be adding some salt. So this is 300 grams of salt. And then I've got 300 grams of water. And I'm going to put the lid back on. And I'm going to cook this for 5 minutes, 100 degrees. So remember that when you're using temperature, you need to always put a timer on. Won't let you use the machine if you don't put a timer on. 100 degrees to get it boiling, and on speed 4. Okay, so we are going back over to Michelle.
Yep, that's me. All right, so I have melted. It smells good, and it's quite a thick concoction. So that's the honey, the butter, the cinnamon, sugar, and a little bit of salt. Now I've got, this is only a 300 gram recipe, so actually I would be very inclined to double it and easily done. But I have just stuck to the recipe because I didn't actually have enough almonds. So what I did do is I've gone almonds, and then I've topped up the recipe just with some lovely raw cashews, which I think will be just as nice. So I'm popping those in, and I'm just going to give those a quick stir. I think they say for 30 seconds, and I'll use my blades, my reverse blades. So to make reverse blades, you touch the dial with your blades, you touch on the little blade, and it becomes a green arrow telling you that it's going backwards. So I'm just going to mix those up for 30 seconds on speed 1. And then once that's done, so I have my little jar. It's such a sweet little jar. I got it from the dollar shop just around the corner. So it wasn't $1, but anyway. So I'm using the rose gold baking tray with the baking silicone liner that fits. Who did some shopping in the mix shop over the weekend whilst they had the cyber sale on, 20% off? Such a fantastic sale, pre-Christmas sale. Nice if you've got friends who have Thermomixes or family and you're getting them gifts. Tell us what you bought. All right, so that's all mixed up. And now it says, add the almonds. Now pop them onto the tray. So this is why I love having the instructions coming to the screen rather than having to refer back to a recipe on my phone or a cookbook. I always lose my way, and so this is just brilliant because when it comes to the screen. So this is what they look like. They've all been beautifully coated, and I'm going to pop them onto the tray. It's nice and sticky, which is what you want, and I'm going to pop them in the oven now for 15 minutes. And let it get nice and golden and bubbly, and then I'm going to shake them up into some lovely sugar and more cinnamon and salt. So I'm just going to pop those 15 minutes into the oven, and then we'll come back. Thank you.
Wow, with me in the kitchen, that wouldn't even make it to the oven. That syrup looks so delicious. Oh, okay, go and chuck that in the oven. And we are going to jump over to Claire. One moment, Claire. Ask one mute, and there we go. Claire, please introduce yourself and what you are making tonight.
Sure. Hi, I'm Claire. I've been a Thermomix consultant for about, I think, almost 6 months now, and I am joined to earn my second machine. So now I have 2. Which I find super handy. And today, first I'm making berry liqueur, and I've chosen just to do one berry, and I'm going to do cherry. So I'm going to do a cherry liqueur. I'm just going to start now. So 450 grams of your mixed berries into the machine. And now 300 grams of water. And 150 grams of sugar. And 30 grams of homemade vanilla sugar. And now we're going to insert lid with measuring cup on. And it's going to go for 15 minutes at 90 degrees on speed 2. So then I'll see you guys back in about 15 minutes.
Easy, I love it. Super quick and easy. All right, so we're gonna, I just want to check in with Kathy, how much longer she's got. I know we're going to Bex, but let's just look at Kath. How are you doing, Kath? How's it going there?
Just under 6.5 minutes to go.
Okay, fantastic.
Smelling gorgeous.
I can imagine. All right. And let's go to Bex. Okay, Bex, you're going to be looking at introducing us to a balsamic reduction.
Yes, so I'm making the balsamic reduction. Now, if you ever go to a restaurant and you see those tiny little swirly lines that they put around your meal, or maybe like, and if you go to a cafe and it's around your sandwich or something, well, what I do is I love to soak it all up with whatever my food is, right, to get it all, but they only put a little bit on. And so to make my own, I've always wanted to make my own. So here is my chance. So this recipe is from superkitchenmachine.com. So again, this is not a Cookidoo recipe. We're trying something different out tonight. And this is what, just quickly, what the cleaner looks like so far. Sorry, don't want to pour it everywhere. And so the benefit of, you know, having a second bowl is that is done, and now I'm just swapping out into a new one. So here we go with the balsamic reduction. It only has 2 ingredients plus 1 optional, which I'm actually going to be doing. So we've got 250 grams of balsamic vinegar. So I'll go ahead and pop that in. And then I've got 30 grams of honey. So you can do a sweetener of your choice. You could do white, raw, whatever kind of sugar you want to, and I've chosen to do honey. That off the spoon and do a quick little finger lick.
Great to see in the comments, lots of people have been shopping and buying things from the sale, so that's good. Yes, these are Thermomix earrings. In fact, lovely Bex gave these to me as a gift. We can, if you wanting to find out where they're from, we can send you that link for sure.
Yes.
Always good. Thank you, Meg. That's a great tip. She just says in the chat here, Bex, just not to leave the lemon and salt cleaners longer in the bowls than it needs to, because it can etch into the stainless steel, because it's quite a powerful cleaning agent.
All right, gotcha. So I might just start that on my other machine then. What I'll be doing to that cleaner then is just adding 100 grams of vinegar, white vinegar, and then I think I'm going to put that on to cook for 5 minutes. So that's what I'll do then. Thank you. Now, for the balsamic vinegar, optional seasoning for infusing. You can either do some garlic, rosemary, black pepper, port wine, or some orange zest. So I'm going with the orange zest. So I'm going to throw that in now. And then I'm going to be 18 minutes on aroma temperature, nice and hot, and on speed 1 with the cap off. And it's going to be nice and sticky and thick, and apparently it thickens up as it cools down as well. So see you soon.
Awesome. So reason we leave the lid off whilst we're cooking this reduction is because we want the steam to escape and to allow it to thicken by as we're boiling it. So that's going to be cooking for 18 minutes, and then Bex is going to do a spatula test at the end, and we'll showcase that to us. Right, Claire is also going to make some delicious quick chocolate fudge. I don't think it would be Christmas if we weren't giving away fudge, guys.
Yes, I did that last year for all the grandparents. I made different flavoured fudge, and that was really yum. But ended up in my mouth. Kind of white this up, basically. Just got that churn on the bench at Horseman. Okay, so quick chocolate almond fudge. So today I'm going to half the ingredients, just because I've already made half, so I can show you what it looks like afterwards, because it does need time in the fridge to set. So we are starting with lining our baking tray with baking paper, which I've done. And now we're going to add, this is all in ounces, so I'm going to add half. So I'm going to add 6 ounces of dark chocolate chips into my machine. And next, and about 7 ounces of condensed milk. That's actually come out.
Have you made your own condensed milk, Claire, in the Thermomix?
No, but I should.
You really should, because it's super quick. It's actually quicker to make it in the Thermomix than it is if you have run out and need to hop to the car and pop to the shop. It's quicker to make it. Has anyone in the audience been making condensed milk in their Thermomix? Super easy.
And now we're going to put our measuring lid on top, and it's going to go for 4 minutes at 120 Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in degrees Celsius, but it does it all for you. On speed 3. So I will see you guys in about 4 minutes.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Very quick and easy. I love it. We're all about quick and easy with these gifts, and it almost seems like we're not doing any work. The machine is doing it all for us. If you know, we've all just put the machine on and walked away for a good 20 minutes. All right, so what I'm going to quickly do now is before we go back to Kathy, I'm going to do a quick tutorial and just show you how to import this recipe that I am using tonight from the recipe community into Cookidoo, and then I can bring it up onto my screen. So let me just make sure I've got the right page open. All right, give me a sec, share screen. Oh no, it's installing something, sorry. Share screen, where's it gone? No, I don't want that. Oh, technology. I'm normally good at technology, but for some reason, okay, give me a sec. This is not working. I can't minimize Zoom. Where, if I do this, and if I do, sorry team, this is frustrating. Let's see if that's worked. All right, share screen, yes, no. Yes, there we go. All right, so Cookidoo. So if you, you don't necessarily need to have received an update to already have the function. So if you go to my recipes, you will see under collections, created recipes. This is new, all right? This is where you normally create like your own cookbooks. So created recipes is there, you click on that, and these are the recipes that I've imported so far. I've had mine for about a month, maybe a little bit longer, and yeah, I've loved it. Honey cinnamon almonds. So recipe community, this one. So this is the recipe that I am using this evening. You can all see this clearly, I'm hoping. So it's recipe community, and because people do their recipes differently, sometimes there is a little bit of fiddling around that's required. So what I'm going to do is I go to the one recipe that I am wanting to import, and I'm going to click on the link at the top, and I'm going to copy this link on my browser. I then go back to Cookidoo, and I'll just show you again. I go to my recipes and I go to created recipes.
Oh, shit.
It's not me.
Sorry, I
And-
muted that person now.
And then you go add here, and I'm going to import a recipe. So there's two options. You can create a recipe of your very own, that's your family recipe that you want, or you can import a recipe from the recipe community. And so it's as easy as just enter the URL, which is that link I copied at the top. So I'm pasting that and I go import. It gives you a green tick so that you know that you've got the URL right. And it even brings you up the image that they've used, which obviously you can change to be your image if you want. And look at that, it brings up the butter, all the ingredients, the preparation steps are here, and then the hints and tips. So the things that you want to, so there's eight steps. The things that you're wanting to edit, so you can edit ingredients, and this is where you can put in your Cookidoo recipe and change it to be reflecting the changes that you want to make in that recipe. So some with butter chicken, I have I've reduced the amount of chilies. I've included some brown sugar, and so that means anyone who uses my machine and makes the butter chicken will make it the same that I'm making it now, because all my changes are recorded. So you can edit that quite easily on the side here, and just by clicking and typing. The same here for your preparation steps. Where's it gone? You can click on it. So when it says here, add the butter, honey, salt, vanilla, and cinnamon. Now I'm not going to, well, you can. So if you want to measure, if you want the scales to come up, you click on the butter and you click on ingredients, okay, which is showing down here. And then it will see 30 grams of butter. Go, yep. And then you'll see that it shows it as 30 grams of butter here. So when you go to your machine, it will bring it up the scales and weigh in 30 grams of butter. Honey, I'm wanting, so I go ingredients and I adding, and it brings the list up automatically. I want 50 grams of honey. Yes. And then I just take that one away, a little bit of salt. And here it says melt for, and then I'm going to go here. I'm going to insert my cooking settings. 2 minutes, temperature Varoma, speed 1, done. And you'll see it comes up in black so that you know that you've made that change. And I'll tick that to confirm. Shall I do another one? Give me a thumbs up. I don't want to bore you if you think it's very simple. Adding almonds. So almonds, click, where am I? Yeah, add the almonds. So I just need to tidy it up there because I did it in the middle of the word, and coat them in the honey and for 30 seconds. So here I add my cooking settings. So it's just 30 seconds, temperature off, speed, reverse, you'll see here at the bottom, and then that's done. No, I didn't do it because can you see it hasn't gone dark black. So let me do that again. 30 seconds, temperature is off. Yep. Then select reverse, speed 1. And then I click on the green arrow, and then it's dark, made it dark so that I know it's done. And then I go click. And then what I'll do, I will show you how that looks on my machine, because it does look a little bit different when you're actually using it on your machine. Did you guys find that helpful? I'd love to have a yes. That's cool. I think it's an amazing, amazing facility. Awesome. I'm glad you like that. Yeah, if you've got any questions afterwards, feel free to stay on and ask about it, what it's going to look like. But I think it's really very simple, straightforward. And the more you get to do it, the more confident you become. And the beauty is it brings it to your screen of your Thermomix. So it does look different, and I will show you that, although sometimes it's quite tricky to see the machine of your Thermomix with the lights, but I will try and do that.
Michelle, there was just some quick questions. I'll just ask you quickly. Can you import the recipe from Recipe Community straight to Cookidoo? There's a button, isn't there, in Recipe Community at the bottom of the recipe? I've seen it.
Okay, so is that not what that's what I did?
Oh, okay. Someone says, why don't you just click on import to Cookidoo?
Oh, yes. Okay, so let me show them. I didn't see that. Thank you. That's
Did
why
you do
we have these classes, because we all learn together.
Did you do the link?
I
That's
did.
the way I've been doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, I copied the link at the top, guys. So let me, whoever is a very clever person. So if you look here, this is the Cookidoo recipe, and I copied the link on here. What you look here, right there at the very top, add to Cookidoo. So click on that, add to Cookidoo, confirm, and there it is again. And then I just go and edit it. Super easy. The beautiful thing is I can delete the recipe. And we, at the moment for the free trials, we have 100. So there's free trial continues until the 31st of March. It's just for everyone to see if they like it, how they're going to use it, get comfortable with it. And you then have 100 recipes that you can upload. Actually, 100 recipes is quite a lot.
Yeah. And another one, Christine asked, how do we prevent being fined for breach of copyright?
So you cannot import any recipes exactly as they are. For example, the 2 recipes we gave you for Bex's Cooking Tonight. So those are bloggers' recipes. It's their personal property, proprietary property, and they get paid to produce, and they also pay a lot of money in terms of advertising and, setting it up. So at the moment, and that's why I'm saying, like, there's a lot of opportunities around this. So at the moment, we are not allowed to import their recipes. If you change your recipe by 10%, then that's fine. You can have that recipe as your recipe. A recipe copyright doesn't exist if it's changed more than 10%, then that says you've bought your own flavors. It's also quite there's a big gambit. Like if the majority of the recipe or the copyright appears to a whole lot of things. So it says if the intention remains, then the copyright remains. So it's a little bit of a gray area. So we are hoping that we will be collaborating with more of the bloggers. But I think the best bet is don't do it if you're not sure. And if you want to do it, make it yours. Add your own personal touches, your own personal flavors. You'll be able to do it. Yes, so the Recipe Community recipes are belonging to Thermomix, which is why we can import those recipes. If you're wanting to import another recipe that's not a Thermomix recipe, you will then be what we call creating a recipe. But if it belongs to a blogger or if it comes from a recipe book, you need to make those changes. And lots of people merge two, kind of recipes together. You see bloggers sharing the same thing. A chocolate brownie is a chocolate brownie. It doesn't matter, you've all basically got the same ingredients. So so that's kind of how I would suggest you go about it.
Would you like some more? There's a couple more questions. Can we share our collections with a family member?
At the moment, there is no sharing, but I believe that's going to change, which means there will be an ability to share, which is why they're not allowing us to upload the bloggers' recipes. But I'm also hoping that potentially there'll be an opportunity for us to upload just for our own personal use, and then we won't be needing to. And if it's my private collection and I can't share it, I'm not sure. I'm thinking that that would be a way around it, just to be able to get a recipe I use a lot that's in a recipe book onto my screen without violating the copyright, because it's only for my personal use. Whether that happens, we don't actually know. So the beauty of it is that Forwerk and Cookidoo, they really do listen to what their people want, and they do really and try and make and include those changes. So things like, yes, the ability to change a portion size and adjusting the ingredients, that's going to be coming. So they have very kindly released the great concept to us. And then there's a few tweaks that they're going to be making over the next. So it's just going to be getting better and better and better. And well worth the $69. It's a $20 increase. I'm paying a $10 increase for Netflix. And be honest, most of those movies are dubbed at the moment. I'm really irritated. So I'm like, I don't want to do. Whereas I believe there's lots of value for money in what we're doing with Cookidoo. So that's enough from me rabbiting on about that. Any other questions, you're welcome to stay at the end and we can chat through. We just won't hold everybody up. But thanks for listening to that. And we're going to go to Kathy now, who is going to do some rosemary salt for us.
Right, so I have my garlic oil straining at the moment, and I'll use that garlic in my next recipe. But at the moment, I'm going to do the rosemary salt, which is very simple. I've got the fresh rosemary picked today. And then we're just going to chop that up. Oh, there's one. So that's going to be on speed 10 for a minute.
Okay, so just a couple more questions here for Cookidoo might as well. That was a Thermix. What about a non-Thermix recipe? So when you convert a conventional recipe to a Thermomix recipe, you've done all the hard work. That's yours. I think there's a difference between a conventional recipe and a Thermomix recipe, because you will have to change things as well. Michelle, just tell me if I'm correct. Pretty sure.
What was that? I just had to go and rescue my almonds, which are burning in the oven.
That's okay. Say you had a cookbook that was a non-Thermomix cookbook, and you converted that into a Thermomix recipe and put it onto your machine. That's allowed, isn't it? Because no, oh shoot, nobody, don't do that. Oh, maybe change the ingredients up. Change it up by 10%.
That's what I'm saying. Change the recipes by 10%, because it is still that person's recipe that you're using. You're just using it in a Thermomix. Yeah, still their intellectual property. And,
so just adding 9 ounces. My clever little scales have converted to ounces for this recipe. 9 ounces of sea salt.
Kathy, how much rosemary did you do?
It said 10 sprigs, but that's pretty loose. How much is a sprig? So it's a guess, really.
Yep, 10 sprigs on average though.
Yeah, they were quite long, beautiful fresh stuff from my friend's house I went to today. And that's it. So I'm going to chop that up, and then I'll lay it on a tray to dry overnight, and then I can package it up for lovely, lovely gifts. So we're now going to do 2 seconds, a whole 2 seconds on speed 7. Just like that. It just looks like a beautiful rosemary salt.
Wow, I love it so fast.
So I should sprinkle it out to dry overnight now.
So the recording will be found on ThermiLife NZ YouTube channel. And I will send out an email, which I haven't been doing recently, but I will send out an email including all these tips and tricks around the recipes, not the Cookidoo, into by email. And yeah, and I'll also include the link to the YouTube channel for you to watch back. You will find it on my ThermiLife Facebook page. So yeah, no worries. Thanks for joining us. And we hope that you leave inspired and excited. Yeah. So Sharon, I see you've got a few questions and you are a new owner. The thing I say to new owners, take it slow. And right at the very beginning, hopefully you've got a consultant working with you. Right at the very beginning, I do just encourage you to use the guided cooking recipes that you find on the machine for at least a month. And that will help you understand how your machine works, because it does work quite differently. So yeah, so that's why I would suggest don't rush into doing manual cooking just yet. Use your machine confidently with Cookidoo, and then you'll see the power, because it is incredibly powerful. And often I know people have tried cooking immediately with manual cooking and it's turned to mush, because you just don't recognize the power of the blades. Okay, dokie. So Claire, let's go and have a look. How's that fudge looking? And we're going to be adding some almonds to that now.
So it's melted my chocolate. It actually leaves a few chocolate chips whole, which is actually really nice because it's extra crunch when you have it. I've already tried it. I'm just gonna my machine switched off, so it's just warming back up. Here we go. So 4 ounces of almonds. So I've obviously halved it, so it's 2 ounces. Just into the machine. Next, insert the cup with lid, and 20 seconds on speed 1.5, just to mix them all up.
So I'm just popping a little note in the chat box for you. When you're halving or when you're doubling a recipe, recipe, if you're halving it, you will decrease the cooking time by 20%. So you don't halve the cooking time. And if you're doubling it, you increase the cooking time by 20%.
So it's just kind of mixed it up a wee bit. And now we just put into our prepared baking tray, and it's going to go into the fridge for at least 2 hours. So I will get that done, and I'll see you guys back shortly for the cherry liqueur.
Cherry liqueur, how much time do you still have to go with the cherry liqueur?
That is, it's finished. It's finished melting it.
Okay, so we'll come back to you. We'll see Kathy now, or Bex now, for the Bex.
Yeah.
How's that reduction going?
Oh, well, first off, I listened to Meg and I got my lemon cleaner concentrate straight out of the bowl, and both of these smells are going straight up my nose, triggering my hay fever. So this is kind of solidified on the top. It
looks like lemon curd.
It does. That's what it said in the recipe. You've been reading ahead, haven't you?
I have.
So just a few tips with this. So I'm going to put it in jars, but it said a container. So I'll put it in a jar to give it for a gift. I know who I'm going to give it to. She loves cleaning, and I look after her son, and she comes and cleans my house afterwards. So it says to use on a damp cloth to clean the oven, rest of the kitchen, non-wood worktops, hand washing dishes. Mix some with your usual dishwashing liquid, and it's a really good degreaser apparently. Excellent for cleaning bathrooms. Add 1 tablespoon to the washing machine for a cleaning boost, and it adds a pleasant natural fragrance without chemicals and whiter whites. Dilute with an equal amount of coconut oil or olive oil. Mix well and use as an excellent hand wash. No chemicals, no artificial fragrances. It leaves your skin soft as well. Use a little on a wet cloth to spot clean fabrics. It has worked to remove curry stains for this person. Wow. Okay, I'm really excited. This
Love
is
it. I'm
4
excited.
ingredients. I know
Yeah.
4 ingredients. That's so cool. I've never made my own cleaner before. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Fabulous. I love
That's
it.
a lot. No way, that's a lot. All right, now let's take a look at this reduction. The orange is very strong. Ooh, and it's really sticky.
Wow, look at that.
You can see that.
Yeah.
Now what does it say to do? Because it's
I can
sticking.
tell you. So make sure so do
Oh.
a spatula test. Put your spatula in and run a finger trip across the blade, and you need to see if it leaves a path. And if a path remains, then it's done. So put your finger through that now. Pull your finger from the top down. Yep. Yes,
Yep,
it's
yeah.
perfect. Yep, that's perfect. And what's it taste
Oh,
like?
it tastes amazing. Sorry,
It's
I need a
strong.
little bit at a time. That's why the restaurants give you just a little bit. Oh, okay, and then now it's actually quite a small amount, so I'm not going to put it in here, but I mean, just for home, I would use one of these, and you can get these from sorry, from the mix shop now, squeegee bottles, or I would just use a jar or something as a gift. Yeah, I'm really excited.
I'll
I'll
put it
take
in
the
a
orange.
jar because it's for our gifts in class in a jar. So please pop it in the jar for us.
Yes,
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm not OCD, I promise. Okay, we're going to go to Kathy and let's see what's happening in Kathy's kitchen. Hi, Kathy.
So I now have my rosemary spread on a baking tray on baking paper to dry overnight. And I'm ready to start my aioli. So, oh, that's my dear little jars of
Those look gorgeous.
oil.
Yeah, look at that.
So I've got a full, what is that, 250 mils probably. So that's full. And I've got those 2 and there's still a little bit left. So I'll do
Thanks a
another
lot.
one of those. Right, so now I'm to weigh my oil, which I've already done to save time. So we've done that, set the jug aside, and now we want 3 garlic cloves. So I'm going to put in some of my garlic I've already used. I'm going to put 4.
That garlic that Kathy's using would be what we call a confit garlic, is because it's been cooked in the oil for all that time. So it's like a confit.
So I'm going to insert the measuring cup and do 3 seconds on speed 8 to chop it. So quick. Scrape down the sides of the bowl. Oh my goodness, I love the smell of garlic. So that's all. It's not the same sort of chopping as you'd get with fresh garlic. It's a bit mushy, but that'll be beautiful. So next, we want 1 medium egg. So plonk that in there.
In the chat box, please tell me, have you been making your own homemade mayonnaise and aioli? And if not, why not? You need to ask yourself. It is so good and so fresh and beautiful.
So we're doing a teaspoon of lemon juice. I love when you can put, oh, I'm throwing pips in it. I love when you squeeze it on the lid and the juice goes in and the pips stay on top. I just think that's so clever. 2 pips I threw in, that's right. Okay, so next, a teaspoon of mustard. That's optional, but I think I will do it. just for fun.
The reason why would we make our own homemade is because it has no nasties. It has no preservatives. We know
So much better.
exactly. We know exactly what's in it. And Anika, when you get your Thermomix, do yourself a favor, pop on your Cookidoo list of things you're going to cook. Cooked mayonnaise. I love the cooked mayonnaise, and because it's because you're cooking the eggs and it lasts a little bit longer, so it can last for about up 3 weeks up to a month.
So a pinch of pepper and a teaspoon of salt. That sounds like an awful lot, so we'll just do that. And then we put the lid on. This is the clever bit. So we're going to turn it on for 1 minute 30 on speed 4. And during that time, we'll slowly drizzle the oil in.
And also imagine if you have a like a pregnant friend and you made them cook mayonnaise for Christmas, like fresh cooked mayonnaise, and they can eat it. Pretty good.
So good. That was the thing I struggled with, was not being able to have mayonnaise. I love mayonnaise on chips especially.
Does anybody know what to do if you ever pour the oil too fast and your mayonnaise curdles? It is savable, promise. Michelle, have you ever done it?
I've never had curdled mayonnaise. It's always worked beautifully for me. So tell us,
I don't
how
know.
do you fix it? I'd love to know.
So I wasn't listening at the beginning. You start with a new egg. So you take everything out of your bowl into another container, and then start with a new egg, and then just pour everything slowly in again, and you'll be fine. Yeah.
Okay, so you don't keep it in and just add another egg.
You can do. I'm sure you can. I mean, you can only try it. I've taken it out before and then put it again. Rosa says no.
Rosa. Oh, that looks amazing. Look at that, Kathy. Beautifully emulsified.
It doesn't look like it needs any help. Oh, beautiful.
And grape seeds. So I don't know why, but where I live in East Auckland at the moment, there is a real shortage on canola.
There is none in Whitianga, I can tell you.
Everywhere. Oh my goodness. Okay, so grape seed and canola, sunflower, vegetable. There's a huge shortage.
Yeah.
There's a huge shortage. So anyway, it's like all three blocks are full of rice bran oil. So I just say don't use olive oil. That is the one not to use. It has a very pungent, strong taste, and it's not nice in mayo. If I was to make it now, I would do rice bran oil.
Beautiful.
Look at that.
Looks, the consistency is perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
So nice to put that into a lovely jar, and and so I would just be interested to take this conversation a little bit further around fixing our mayonnaise if it goes a little bit wrong. If you've had that happen, I like what Bexa says is right. So you just add another egg, and I'm just wondering, can you just throw an egg in and mix it through, or do we need to re-emulsify it? And possibly you do. I don't know. Bex, do you know any more?
Yeah, it happened to us the first day of lockdown last year. Odette and I did the very, very, very first online virtual cooking class, and in front of hundreds of people on the screen, she stuffed up. And I'm pretty sure that she got a new bowl. She put that egg in the bowl, and then she just poured the rest of what she'd already
Had made.
had already made. She just poured it in really nice and slowly.
Slowly. Okay, and that's what Rose is saying. You don't, if you don't want to use a whole egg, you can only use a yolk, but yeah.
And if
add
you
it
run
in
out of
slowly.
time on the timer, if you run out of time, just extend it. Like if you're pouring too slowly, just extend it. There's nothing wrong with that.
Awesome. Thank you. That's always good to have those tips and tricks. So it looks like we're all struggling to find oil at the moment. So if you come across grapeseed oil or olive oil, you want to buy. Buy. Right, Claire.
Sell it. Buy it and sell it.
You can make a fortune. Remember
All
they
the
did that?
Thermomix people.
I remember when we first arrived in New Zealand and there was a thing around, was it Bovril? No, Vegemite. There was a Vegemite shortage and
Marmite.
people were selling it on Trade Me for lots of money. All
Yeah.
right, Claire, you're going to show us what you're doing with your berry liqueur. I'm super
I
cherry
was
liqueur.
show you my fudge that I made earlier in
Yes.
the cute little jars. So
Oh,
I cut them quite small so they were just little treats. And I actually added, before I cut, I sprinkled some more chocolate chips and some more crushed almonds on top just for a little something extra. To my friends to have because I've had enough. Yes, so back to our liqueur. So it has, I'm going to be really able to see it without me spilling it everywhere. Kind of, it's kind of frothed up a bit on top and melted all the fruit. And next we are now going to pour it through a fine sieve into a bowl. So we're going to do it quite slowly just to make sure it doesn't go everywhere. And it's just catching all the, it doesn't actually, oh there it goes. It doesn't melt, it doesn't crush or cook down the sugar or the cherries. So that's still whole.
oh, wow.
And then it's going to ask me to discard all the stuff that's in the sieve, which I feel I need to find a recipe now
Yes,
where
definitely.
I can use it because I don't want to have to.
But you want to use that in something else. Make a nice like a confit to put through your yogurt or something like that. That would be good. Or swirl it through ice cream, Steph says. Swirl your cherries. I see also, Rebecca, I don't know if you saw in the chat, they were saying that the for the balsamic reduction, people have put it on ice cream.
Ice cream and strawberries.
And drizzling over strawberries. So I love those ideas. Kathy, Claire used frozen cherries.
I did.
Oh, Rosa suggests you could make a Black Forest cake.
Oh my God, okay. I need to do extra boot camp this week then, don't I?
Cherry pie. There's lots of suggestions coming. Cherry pie, Black Forest cake, swirl it through ice cream.
I'll probably have to make this again so I can make both, I think.
Sorry?
I'll have trouble making both of them. Right, so now we're going to place the bowl with our spraying liquid on top of our lid. And now we're going to weigh in 300 grams of our rum. I've just got some white rum. A little bit over, I'm okay with that. And then we're going to give it a good stir around. And just go grab another spatula. And now we're going to give it a good stir. Ooh. That's good.
I'm excited.
And then you're
for
going to
this.
pour it into your jar or your bottle. And then that's you done. You could add this to, you can make cocktails with it. I know people like to pour it over, you could probably warm it and pour it over some vanilla ice cream. I think that would be really yum.
Awesome. So we'll let you decant that into some bottles or glass jars for gifting.
Yeah. A large one here for my mother. And the rest I will pop into, I've got some smaller jars that I'll put them into. I think I might actually keep one for myself.
I'm going to move and go back to my kitchen because I will finish up my almonds, which have slightly burnt, which is
And then
quite,
you've got another liqueur to go.
that looks so good. Yum, delicious.
And it was really easy. I didn't really have to do much. And there was no,
That's the beauty of it, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's only 15 minutes to cook it, and then it's straining, and then it's done. Easy peasy.
Okay. So here are the almonds, and they are a little bit overcooked because I was doing a Cookidoo tutorial and I could smell them. But I was a bit stuck. But I still think they're okay. They're hot. They're just, they're not burnt. They're just dark brown. So now what I'm going to do, it's a lovely salty sweet syrup that's on here. So let me just take this one away. Okay. So now what I've got is 80 grams of raw sugar with a little bit of salt. And I'm going to pop these into here.
Michelle, you used almonds, didn't you? Could you use other nuts as well? Hold on, your sound has gone again, hey? Oh, there she is. She's back again. Your sound was gone.
My sound?
Yeah, you're back again. So what were you saying? What did you say?
I used cashews.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, no, they're terrible, Donna. Absolutely. Total fail. And I'll be going to my bedroom early tonight to eat my nuts. They are really good. What I would suggest, I needed to work faster. So because they were browning, I turned the oven off and then left them sitting for a while. So they're not taking to the sugar like they should. So they were quite sticky and gooey as soon as I took them out of the oven. So if I'd been 5 minutes quicker earlier, it probably would have been fine. But then I needed to transfer them immediately into the sugar mix. That's okay. And that's the reason we do these classes, because we love to learn and share our experiences together. They're still good. Definitely will be eaten. There's no doubt about that, even though they're a little bit dark brown. Right, let's go back to Kathy, who is going to, oh, I think we're done. Are we all done?
So we've got probably 2 and a bit of these jars of the aioli. And it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I'll be doing that again. Can't wait to have it with something now.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. So that's all from us, lovely people. Let's put everybody back onto your screen so we can see all our little all our things that we have made and popped into jars. I will do my nuts as well. And thank you so much for joining us this evening. Really lovely to spend time with you all. And I hope you have been inspired to make your own Christmas gifts season. And yeah, seeing as this was such a popular class, we might do something similar again next week. So stay tuned. Keep an eye on the Thermomix page, and yeah, we look forward to sharing some more. So on Sunday afternoon at 4, we are doing a festive cooking experience. So putting it aside, it's an opportunity for you to come and bring friends and earn some host rewards, which we have at the moment is our one of these little mini bags, which are really amazing, really cool, and nice to have in the kitchen. And we are going to do a festive cooking experience menu, giving you some ideas, tips and tricks for things that you can be preparing to make a nice, simple, quick, easy, but delicious Christmas. So that's going to be on Sunday afternoon. Keep an eye on our socials for our advertising. But there we go. Look at that. That looks beautiful, Bex. I love how you're presenting those. I saw the folding lady. I don't know if any of you are on Instagram, but the folding lady has some amazing tips in terms of how to fold your napkins for Christmas Day, and just using a normal, what these called? Paper napkins, but just use normal these. And really fantastic. She has some fantastic folding tips, and for wrapping round presents. Wrapping round presents is always a nightmare. So give her a look on Insta, the folding lady. Yeah, so there we go. Nuts in a jar. Thanks, guys. Lovely to see you. Enjoy your week. Always good to hang out with you.
Everyone.
Bye.
Happy December. Can we say